Hey guys, hope you're doing well out there. Today's been a great day. I woke up this morning, saw that I had 500 subscribers on this YouTube channel, which is so awesome, super cool. Really appreciate all your support out there. I thought a nice way to celebrate would be to give away a free MIDI pack. And I'm going to use this MIDI pack today to show you how quickly and easily you can build a full orchestral sound. Using a few simple ideas. I mean, the key is that, you really only need a handful of good ideas. And then from there, it's just a matter of layering. The track I'm about to show you is like a really typical, generic, uplifting, motivational chord progression, something that you're going to hear quite often on like Audio Jungle and Pond 5. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. The buyer wants something conventional and familiar, but that doesn't mean you can't be creative within those boundaries and infuse your own style and and your own creativity and your own melodies onto this backdrop. Think of it as like a canvas. As a matter of fact, I'd love to hear what you do with this MIDI pack. If you want to create something using it, as well as my free sample pack, and send it back to me by the time I do my next video, I will definitely give you a shout out on this channel. So if anyone out there is feeling creative and inspired, please send something back to me. I'd love to hear it. So the idea here, again, is just to show you that you don't need a lot to create, an epic full sound. You just need a few good ideas. So let's take a look at the pack and see what we can come up with. So as you can see, this MIDI pack has 9 different MIDI files, but it's really only like 7 ideas, because a few of them are basically the same thing, like this, like the chords and the basic chords and the fluid chords are basically the same thing, except the fluid chords just have less separation between the notes, and the bass and the bass staccatos are essentially the same thing too. The bass staccato just has like an extra note in there. So let's see what we can do. I have this orchestral template that I have ready to go here. I usually don't work with templates, but I'm starting to move away from that mentality just because it speeds up the workflow so much. And I'm just going to put this one to the test and see what happens. So let's start with the just the basic chords. We'll pull that in and we'll put it on our Omnisphere patch. This is sort of like a Rhodes piano. Let's see how this sounds. Cool. So really straightforward. Let's check out the piano. And I have a Oliver Patrice Whitacre piano patch pulled up here. This is a Spitfire library. Cool. I'm gonna pull. I have these Pandora Bursts going on here. I did a video a little while back about using a free orchestral library. This is the Project Sam free library that they have. I thought that these bursts sound really cool, and I think they're part of the Pandora library, which I have as well. But this is actually just using the free orchestral library because it was easy to pull up. It's a really small library. It doesn't take any time to load, and I'm just gonna throw my bass in there. See how that sounds. So already it's starting to sound pretty good. I'm going to double that MIDI and throw it into my muted bass, which is just a stock Logic bass. We'll listen to that on its own. Just sounds like this. And that's just so we have the sub frequencies covered. Okay, moving on. Choir. I'm going to throw in the fluid chords into the choir patch. This is the Spitfire Eric Whitacre choir, which is a great sounding library. Sounds like this. Cool, and then I'm just going to double that and copy paste it and throw it into my Omnisphere pad, which is kind of like a weird sounding pad, but I thought it sounded kind of cool. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to copy paste and throw it into my Flautando long strings, which is just like a really soft string patch. It's Aperture Strings by Spitfire, I believe. So yeah, I think with those three, we should have a really nice sounding pad. Let's check them out together. Cool, it's starting to sound pretty good. Okay, let's moving. You know what? Actually, we'll start with our cellos and then we'll move up. So let's pull these cellos into my Aperture cello ensemble here. How do these sound? Cool, good enough. And I'm gonna copy paste that into my symphonic strings ensemble patch, and I'm going to do the same thing, copy paste into my Spitfire solo cello. And now these together will sound. Cool, I'm stoked on that. And then, yeah, let's move on to our violas. Violas Pecados, and we'll do the same thing. We'll just copy paste into our other library here. This is the solo violas, this is the Aperture strings, and I'm going to do the same thing for my violins. I'm just going to throw these into my violins, apertures, and my solo violins, and then let's listen to how it sounds so far. Already sounding pretty epic, so these together sound great. And I think I'm going to actually copy paste these violin spiccatos into my Hexaract synth, and this is just going to give it a little bit more bite. Not even more bite, but maybe just like a little bit more atmosphere. So you get the idea. Now we gotta throw our bass staccatos into. Let's see how that sounds. Cool. I'm gonna double that and throw it into our trombone patch. All right, and then yeah, we got our horns ready to go here. So let's throw our horns MIDI into, I believe this is symphonic brass horns. Yeah, and then we can copy paste that into our performance sample horns. Sound a little bit cleaner, I think. Very nice. And I'll just, yeah, copy paste that again into my trumpets. And maybe I'll just go into this MIDI here and bring these trumpets up an octave. Yeah, that's better. Cool. How does everything sound together now? Not too bad. So last but not least, I'm going to throw this epic percussive loop into the mix. This is something that I mixed and mastered last night, and you're going to hear how awesome it sounds with it in the mix. I'm actually going to throw that tutorial up on my Patreon page, and I'm just going to have that accessible through Patreon only. If you want to, and I'm going to have the sample for it as well. So if you want to grab this loop and watch me mix and master it, if that's something that you're interested in, please don't hesitate to hit up my Patreon page. I'd really love to have your support there. Let's hear how it sounds. Actually, you know what? Before I play this, I'm just going to actually copy paste all this and loop it out. Here we go. So there you go. I hope you found that interesting. Please don't hesitate to download this MIDI pack. Do something creative with it. Send it back to me. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.